All right, gentlemen, we are live. Welcome to the Mora Partners. Welcome to the Master Plan podcast experience. Okay, powered by the MoraPartners here in Bakersfield, California, guys. And welcome. Today's guest is Alex Mora. Is the broker on record, the CFO of our company, and also my big brother. All right, we're testing the podcast today with Alex as our guest, and we're going to ask some questions. Alex, let's start, man. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Where can we find you for those listeners watching right now?
Yeah, man. So, again, my name's Alex Mora. I'm a broker here at TheMoraPartners. Here we got our new office. So excited about that. We just moved in here. We feel good. I have my own office now, my own space. So, yeah, we're here in Bakersfield, California, home based. This is our bread and butter. And if you guys want to ever reach out, you guys can always get a hold of me through social media or my phone. You can text me. So I'll share that information as well here. We'll put it on screen here soon.
Good stuff. So we're definitely testing out this podcast, guys. So we're going to get better here as we go and adjust some of our questions, even the mic here, right? Is that good?
My shirt. Yeah.
Get a beer here. All right, guys. Well, let's get started, guys. So the reason why we launched the Master Plan podcast, right, is that we wanted to deliver something a little bit different to the community, right? Also to the real estate industry, okay? Mm-hmm. A lot of times we've seen podcasts that are politically driven or agenda driven. This is really just about us, the person, the story, right? Their master plan. Everybody's got a plan.
Yeah.
Maybe you had a plan, you got hit in the mouth, and you dropped that plan at some point, but it's good to pick back up on it, refresh, maybe a goal, a legacy you're leaving behind. So yeah, Alex, talk to us a little bit more of what is Alex Mora's master plan?
Man, it was interesting. I know when we were trying to find a name for the podcast. I didn't realize you chose the master plan. That was actually pretty good. I didn't.
We're trying to keep the initials right. Abbreviation of the TMP.
Yeah,
and it just fell in place.
Yeah, so I like the master plan, and I like how you said it's everyone has a master plan, so it's a good beginning. Everyone has a master plan, and it can't change. So
yeah.
So right now you asked me what's my master plan. Was always changing.
Always changing.
It's always changing. Yes, we have. I have my ultimate goals that I want to hit. I have that master plan that one day I want to look like this, or one day this is going to happen. And but yeah, I mean, ultimately, my master plan is first is serve God. That's where it starts really.
Amen to that.
That's where I start off my and you and I know that's where we're faith based. So I start off my master plan first with God, and then everything trickles down from there. So I know if I'm serving God well, I'm doing His will, then everything else is going to fall together into place. So, that's my master plan really in short. But I mean, there's a lot to it. Obviously, there's a lot of things that change along the way, along the journey. Things are going to get adjusted, and you have to adjust with that. Otherwise, you're going to lose. You're going to get in depression. You're going to fall into other things. You're going to get get out of that track, right, that you're set on. So a lot of things can change, and that's part of the journey, and you have to adapt and embrace your journey to be able to get to accomplish that master plan, right? There's a lot of trials and errors that come together to create that master plan. So, but just get back to your question, yes, it's pretty much my master plan is to live God's will, and then everything else around it's going to just fall into place.
Perfect. So you talk a little bit about the journey, right? We can always sometimes fall off that journey. Mm-hmm. Let me ask you, what keeps you excited to stay on that journey? I know we all have trials and tribulations, and we get knocked off. But what gets you back on the?
Yeah. So there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things that keep me excited. Sometimes I run out of things to get me excited, and I have to look for something new, or look back at my plan and say, hey, I got too much things going on. I have to look back at my master plan, which is God, right? I have to look back at Him
Nice.
and kind of reset, because you have to. Sorry, let me put my phone away. You have to really evolve, and you have to keep on evolving. And sometimes you hit a ceiling, and you don't know where to go, right? But you have to evolve to get past that ceiling. And I had to do that multiple times throughout my career. And it's not, it's not easy, but you have to pretty much accept the fact that, hey, you have to transform if you're going to get better. If you're going to follow God's will, you have to transform, because that's what he's doing. He's actually transforming you. He's molding you, right? So,
Absolutely.
But the things that keep me excited for that, though, keep me going, is obviously faith, God. The other thing is being around a good environment. This is why, one of the reasons why we have our own brokerage, our environment here, because we know what it takes to be a successful entrepreneur. We know what it takes to be a successful real estate investor, a successful realtor. We create this environment, right? And stepping in here gives me that excitement back. Sometimes, our office, as you know, is divided into departments: the investments, development side, and then we have the broker side. Sometimes it gets a little lonely on the other side of the building, and I come in here and I see the excitement, the energy in the broker side. Yeah, and it fires me back up. I'm like, and I grab my laptop, and I post it next to the agents. I'm working in between the agents for a whole day. Damn. Because the energy is good. It revives me, really. Things like that. On my meetups, my real estate investors meetups, sometimes I get re-inspired by just going out there and hosting a meetup. Sometimes things can get hard. I don't want to go. I don't want to host a meetup every now and then. Whenever the show, I'll have a hard day, and now I have to do the meetup. Now it's at 6:00, so I have to wait. I can't go home early, so I have to buckle down really and show up for myself.
Yeah.
And that re-inspires me, believe it or not, because I see the energy that comes together there just kind of reminds me, hey, this is why we do what we do.
Yeah, so it's about community, right? The community around you, right? They say you're the average of the 5 people you hang out with. So, being in that environment, that department, it's a little quieter. You go around 5 people that are hyped up, fired up about life, right? Or even about sales in general.
Yeah.
And so I like the word you said. You said transformation, right? So tell us a bit more about transformation. What have you had to transform from? How do you describe?
Yeah. So like in my journey, I've had to transform just from different ways, from relationships, from health, from workout habits, from just different habits. You're used to doing so much. You're used to doing the same routine for so long that you have to adapt and change and transform to become that better person, the better health. Whether it's you trying to be, it's me trying to be a better father, better husband, a better at my health, whatever it is. I have to transform to become better, because I follow the same routine. Although it's worked for me for the last 20 or 30 years, it does not mean that's going to take me to the next level. I have to transform, So that's what I mean. Like,
can't avoid the avoidable, right?
Yeah, it's going to happen. So that's a fact of life that I had to embrace and say, hey, you have to transform. You can't fight it back. You can't fight it. If you are, then you're going backwards. You're going backwards. Really, you're not seeing the opportunity that's coming.
Right.
You're never going to see it if you're just fighting against it.
Right.
So I had to transform. I mean, one of the biggest transformations that for me was, I became a runner, and I never ran in my life.
Never.
And so I became a marathon runner. I ran 1 marathon, 2 half marathons, and it took me a while to build up to that. But the transformation was therapeutic. It just really cleared my mind. I became a runner. Never in my mind would I have thought that I was going to run, a marathon, and I did it the first year that I started running. So awesome. that was pretty powerful. It was addictive. I mean, it's one of those things that, you got to go back, because I see the benefit I get out of running, and it trickles into my life, and trickles into my business, and trickles into my family life. So, you get transformed in so many different ways.
Absolutely. So obviously I've known you from day one, right? Actually from a year older.
Yeah, we're
but
like 14 months apart.
14 months apart. So tell us a little bit about Alex, right? What's unique about Alex?
Oh man, I don't know. you know, just being myself. Just being myself, really, and being transparent with everything that I do, with everyone. Just being myself everywhere I go. Folks ask me, so what separates you, or how did you get here? I'm like, dude, I'm just being myself, man. Yeah, pretty simple as that.
Okay. And so obviously Alex is a developer, guys, right? If you guys don't know who he is, Alex is a broker. He's also a developer. He's focusing on the multifamily commercial area. He's done Airbnbs, right? He's built and flipped homes. A little bit over 2,000 properties.
Yes.
Probably more than that, you think, over his
Right.
span of time.
Right.
So tell us a little bit, Alex, what is a common myth about what you've done? Maybe something you can share to the public here.
Common myth.
Maybe something maybe a limited belief that you've overcame.
Yeah, right.
Because of someone, or something that was told to you growing up.
One thing I can think of is, the market's too saturated. There's always that person or the headlines that the market's crashing or the market's too saturated. That was probably the biggest hurdle I got before I even got into real estate. I remember one of my bank managers a long time ago. I used to work at Wells Fargo back in the day, in college days, and I was telling him about my plans, and he said, "Hey, it's too saturated, man. It's like 08, 06, 07, around that time, and look where we're at."
Yeah. I'm sure you guys out there, guys, you guys have heard that many times, right? You want to do something?
Yeah.
And you're kind of told, like, dude, it's oversaturated. Why do you want to do that?
There's
right?
so many people. Like,
that.
how are you going to compete?
Right.
I mean, you just got to get in there. Yeah, you just got to get in there and
bring your uniqueness,
right,
to that area.
And you'll be surprised. People were like, what makes me different? Well, you'll be surprised of what makes you different being yourself. Like, you'll be surprised. Mm-hmm. You just be yourself, and people will appreciate your authenticity, and they'll appreciate that, and they want to do business with you.
Yep. So, guys, if you guys don't know, Alex has been able to allocate and raise capital, with other partners, right? Which is something that, I'm still trying to learn to understand, right? Is how do you raise money? How do you go to the private entities to raise capital? Because a lot of us, we see content online of like, hey, we built this house, we flipped this house.
Right.
Everyone's asking, hey, how'd you get the money for that? No one's got $1 million just stashed away.
Yeah.
Even $10,000 to even buy that first deal. So how do you even get started on something what you're doing?
Yeah, so it's a good question. I mean, there's a lot I can do a whole seminar on that question alone, 3-day seminar. But
coming soon, guys.
Yes, watch out. So I'm just planting the seed, but anyways, I think that's another one of those myths that people it's a mindset problem, or I forgot what was the other word, but anyways, it's just a mindset. A shift that needs to happen. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of cash out there, way more than you think. People are sitting on $1 million right now, and they don't know what to do with it. So it's about first you got to work on your mindset, being able to you got to have an abundance mindset, knowing that you got to know that there are people out there that want to meet you, they want to be me, to be able to invest their capital, because they don't know any better. They don't know where to put it, where to stash it, or they don't trust that person. Right. They don't have that person they can trust.
I was going to ask you that right now. Would that investor trust Alex 15 years ago before you transformed to where you are today? You think that investor right now would trust based on knowledge, market knowledge, right, experience levels?
No, yes and no. Part of me says yes because, well, if I knew what I know now, then if I would have applied it then I would have got somewhere. Right. But part of it too is experience. You have to, if you don't have the experience, and we're talking about 15 years ago, you said I didn't have the experience, but how do how do you get experience? Well, you join a team that's already doing what you want to do, and then you leverage that. So, but before, that point, I was not concerned about raising capital. That wasn't even, that was a thought, but, that wasn't really my mindset at that point in time. It was just trying to figure out how am I going to get into real estate.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was just trying to figure out
Crazy.
How can I serve you? How can I help you? I like what you're doing over there, but I want part of that too. But how can I help you? How can I add value to your business? And then things just come together for you like that.
So it's focusing on the little things, right, at the moment what you are able to do, and then the compound effect, right? One thing adds to another, experiences, life, years. I think for a lot of us, we get anxious because we want, we see a commercial building, we saw the outcome of that, and you want it now, or a commercial sale or a big sale happen, right, or a wholesale happen.
Yeah.
And you're like, man, I need to get into the industry now. But even if you get in the industry, right, you're saying you have to go through a transformation stage.
Yeah.
Even in that area to have the outcomes.
Right,
possible.
right. Because your mind your mind is set on what you know only.
Right.
And when you're exposed to different information, the market shifts. You have to transform yourself and reinvent yourself or whatever it is to what's the word, to change with the market, to adapt to the market. That's the word. You have to transform because what I did before to get me into the business is not going to work for me today. There's actually a book I read called I think it's called I lost my mojo and how to find it back, something like that. I forget. I don't think that's the exact title,
With
but
the content on that, Carlos, right?
But
make a little edit.
Yes, but that was a great book I read a long time ago, and it had to do about, hey, I was good at during this market, but now how can I get how can I apply the same mindset and get into the next market, and you have to transform. Really, part of that is transforming and adapting to new trends, new ways of doing business, and because the opportunities are there, but if you don't adapt, you're going to miss out.
Absolutely. So, Alex, what you're saying is, you've had to invest into developing, right? You got to invest time, money, and if you can put an investment on the return, right, that you're seeing now, I mean, is there a dollar amount? Is there a time? What can you tell, followers out there?
Yeah.
what does investment, this price, has cost you?
Oh man, it's cost you, a lot of time, a lot of long nights, a lot of a lot of stress too. In this business, there's long nights, a lot of headaches. There's a lot that comes together. There's because there's certain things you can't control. In business,
right.
and so it's hard when you can't control certain things. You got to learn how to let go of certain things. But yeah, I mean, it's cost us. You got to pay your dues. So
absolutely,
in short, you got to pay your dues to get into the game and to be at a successful level.
Perfect. Okay. Well, let's change it up a little bit. Okay. So we actually, before we go there, let's finish it off with what is one of your favorite quotes from the investments you've done? Entrepreneurs you've met, partners.
Yeah, one that came up top of mind right now is by Donald Trump. He said, as far as I'm concerned, real estate is always good.
Damn, that's right. that was one of my concerns. Back in 08, 09. I was.
And he's been around for a long time doing real estate. So yeah,
that's one of the beauties about real estate, guys. Whatever market you're in, it's always good. And I've learned to understand that now after 15 years. And you're right. It's how you adapt to the market, right? It's you can't chase a market. If you're chasing it, you'll never catch it.
Right.
It's obviously playing the odds, taking risks. It's a calculated risk when you know what you're doing with experience.
Yes.
You can run to the and ask questions, really, right?
Right.
Cool. So let's take it back a little bit, man. So tell us a childhood memory of Alex. Maybe it's connected to what you're doing now. Maybe it's not. But what's a childhood memory that maybe inspires you or motivates you, or you remember that?
Just one that came on top of mind right now. I was sharing with my wife Olivia. I was sharing that the day our dad, I think it was a good memory. I'm gonna get emotional here, but it was a memory where I think my dad. I think it was like we were gardeners right back. My dad's still a gardener today, but
Yep.
we did landscape early on in our childhood and helped them out with the business. And, we did door knocking and all that during that time as well, looking for, lawn services, right?
Guys, we've been negotiating since third grade, guys. Pricing and door knocking, guys. That's part of the blood now.
So I think in high school, it must have been in high school because we were old enough to drive ourselves to the mall. And I think it must have been like over the biggest, probably trash out job we did. He paid us, I think we made like $200 each. Cash. He paid us cash, $200 each, and I went to the mall and I bought my favorite pair of lugs.
Oh, my dad?
Yeah, no, I bought myself a lugs. So I don't know how that conversation came up, and I was telling him, hey man, you know what? I remember just my dad paying me and said, hey, you earned it, $200 cash. And I think at the time we all made $200 that day. It was one day. It was a big trash out, and we're just excited to go home, take a shower, get paid, and then first thing you do is go spend it at the mall, right? Valley Plaza. I bought my first pair of lugs.
What are the yellow buck or the?
No, it was like a low. Low top, like brown. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't remember. It wasn't like it wasn't the Timberlands or nothing like that.
Okay. Yeah, I remember the legs.
The boots.
Legs brand.
Yeah,
that's crazy, man. Yeah, guys. So if you guys, if you guys know, we did grow up. Parents were farm labor workers. They both got hurt. They were looking for another opportunity, and my dad found the gardening route to be the best option for him at the time to survive and provide for us. And we actually helped him out with it. I remember that day we started, right? We started mowing friends' lawns and. Weren't the best areas, and eventually we helped them grow it to a level where, she's like, Gordy, what's up? we were mowing her lawn at one point, and we talk about that, nowadays, and it's funny to bring those memories back. But yeah, guys, don't come back. We don't come from capital. We don't come from, money. We had to earn it, ground up. All right, Alex, we got to know a little bit about Alex, right? I'm learning more about him as well. I'm his brother. But tell us, what are you working on right now that's part of your master plan? And, where is this master plan taking you to next?
Yeah, what am I working on right now? Well, let's start with the health because I'm going to be 40 this year, by the way. And I'm coming. So I have a big bash and all that. So part of it is focusing on my health. I really want to get better.
I'm gonna grab a little drink here.
Yeah, just knowing of what I'm eating, what's coming in out of my body, because I'm at the age right now where health is.
Yeah.
You got to really look at your health.
Can't take it lightly, guys.
Yeah, you can't really. Overlook that right now at this point in my life. So I part of it is I told myself, you know what, the next 10 years, I just put a number to it. I didn't come up. I just came up with it. The next 10 years, I'm going to really focus on changing, being better with on my health, whether it's like eating right, exercising right, changing my habits. I want to look like when I hit 50, if I have gray hair, I want to be on the GQ magazine with the six pack.
Oh, man.
So that's my goal. That's what I aspire to be. Mm-hmm. As I get older. So it has to start now. Mm-hmm. It can't start. I mean, yeah, you can start later, but I'd rather just commit to that now because I'm turning 40 this year, mm-hmm. and so I really want to focus in on my health.
Yeah, it's big, guys. Yeah, you can't buy health, guys. You can buy investments all day long.
Yes.
You can make money, but you can't buy health. Honestly, man. I think that's one thing that.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think a lot of us take lightly, right? You get sick and you appreciate everything you can do, right? I'm sure we can all experience a moment we've been hurt or down, and
Yeah.
it's a physical condition, right? That's holding you down versus a mental.
Yep.
Eventually, it could lead to a mental holdback, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I think, guys, I think health is primarily, yeah, I think for all of us, not just to be on the cover of a magazine, but just to show and prove to yourself, right?
Yeah, just
That
for yourself.
that
Yeah.
you want to, that you can feel good, and that you can definitely create anything's possible.
Yeah, and on the real estate side, obviously is taking the business to the next level, which is the developments. We've done flipping for so long, and we'll continue to do that. But now we, just recently, the last couple of years, we've been developing now. So that's has opened up a lot of doors, as you know, a lot of opportunities that we have to transform to take on those opportunities. Because again, what we have been doing for the last 16 years is not going to work for these opportunities that are coming up. We have to adapt. We have to see what we need to do to be in a better position to take advantage of those opportunities. So.
Yes, you have to keep reinventing yourself, right?
You do.
So now you're entering a new avenue. If you can't come in as Alex, even from 2 years ago, right? 3 years ago,
Right,
you have to, adapt. See the competition, see what the competition is doing. You have to know what the competition is doing, right?
Right.
You have to study your opponent, study your market, and know how to put a product out there that's viable, right? Okay, so tell us a little bit about. We've been hearing about your Airbnb rebuilds in Yucca Valley. That's amazing stuff, man. Honestly, like, how do you build even something out of town? It's already tough enough to do it here locally, but how do you get crews, even the logistics, of organizing a project like that? How does that is that even possible?
You gotta have the right team, because I wouldn't be able to do that if I didn't have the right team. It's key. Just like building any team, you want to build a successful team to be able to take you to different places. You can't do it all by yourself. So part of it, is having first building what it takes to build a team of all relationships, trust, right? So you got to have that in your team.
That's right.
Because you just can't hire anybody. You just can't bring along anybody. So you have to vet them. You have to try it out, see if it works. So over the years, I've built relationships with a lot of contractors that have been very good to me, and I have been very good to them as well. So those relationships, you can take them anywhere. So and you share that information with them as well. Say, hey, I have opportunities coming up. Are you willing to go out there?
Share the journey, right? As a leader, you got to share the journey and be able to elaborate it and translate it to them. Right?
Yeah, you have the vision, right? As a leader, you have the vision. You know where you're going. Yeah. You know where that goal is at, right? That long-term vision, and you're shooting for that. And along the way, they may even have a hard time believing you. Because I've had those challenges. They're like, what are you talking about? Well, watch. That's where we're heading. So be ready. Like, there's an opportunity coming up. Be ready for that. And some of them, they were surprised. Like, I was able to pull it off. But now they were able to say, okay, let's do it. We've been having a great relationship. We've been working well. Why not? So
take it. That's awesome.
So you do that. And obviously when you're there in those other markets too, then that you make other connections with local folks, and you just start building from there as well.
Okay, Alex. So you're going to turn 40, right? Let's forecast, and if you can see yourself 10 years from now, Alex, where are you at? Who's with you? What is Alex doing on a regular basis? You're 50 years old now. Okay.
Oh my goodness. One thing that comes up is a saying, you overestimate what you're going to do for someone in 1 year, but you underestimate what you can accomplish in 10 years. So that's a saying that stuck to me, and I don't know who said it, Jim Rohn or one of them influencers, but it's very true. When you're out there, like you're asking me right now, what can I do in 10 years? Well, shoot, I'm shooting for the stars, really. At this point, because if I look back, of where I go back 10 years, and I said, hey, if I asked myself 10 years ago, hey, would you thought that you'd be here today? I'd say no. You take inventory of everything you've accomplished, and it's just like mind blowing of the things that you've been able to accomplish in the 10 years. So, you know, I don't know. I may be 10 years from today retired in Santa Barbara. You know, maybe handling transactions from Santa Barbara location or something. You know.
Yeah. Hey,
anything's
possible.
Anything's possible, right? So,
right.
yeah. So I'm a true believer in that. I'm a true believer that along the journey, you know, you're going to meet someone that's going to take you to the next level, and you have no clue right now. That's part of the excitement that I like of the unknown. You have no clue right now, you know, where you're going to be at in 10 days from today. Yeah, you can make a plan, and it's going to change. It's going to change, but you know, you may look back at 50. I might look back and say, "Wow, you know, shit. How do I get it? How did I get here? Like, what happened? You know, like a lot of good things happen in between, and sometimes your mind can't. You know, you don't have the imagination to do that, and sometimes you need others to help you think bigger.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, no, Alex, we've had a great time speaking with you today. I think we're gonna continue. We can keep going, right?
Yeah.
We're definitely testing out this podcast today, and we want to just get to know Alex a bit more. So, guys, Alex, anything you want to add before we enter it? Something you want to share? Maybe we missed out a topic, something maybe people want to know. Obviously, your social media, podcast. Alex, you know, Alex Mora, REI, right?
Yeah, Instagram is Alex Mora, REI, and then Facebook is just, you know, Google or look me up, Alex Mora. And then I do host a real estate investors meetup every 30 days, which is the last Tuesday of the month.
Last Tuesday of the month, guys.
Yeah, next one coming up is July 25th, which is Alex's birthday. Olive just told me. I'm like, oh man, we're still gonna host a meetup though, but I might not be there. Maybe you'll take over this meetup.
Oh, shit.
So you know. So anyways,
step up.
Get that meetup. It's every 30 days, and you know, one other saying that I just came up on. I heard it from another influencer. He said, you know, what stories are you telling yourself? What's holding you back today? You know. That's keeping you from taking your business to the next level or getting, you know, making that accomplishment. And he said, hey, are you telling yourself one day I'm going to do this, one day I'm going to do that? Or is today day one, right? Is today day one of that journey, of that goal you want to take in? So again, it's about what you're telling yourself. What story are you telling yourself? Is today day one or is it one day? So make it day one, guys. Make it day one. That's what I
love that. Okay.
You know, if you just, you know, start having, you know, start telling yourself the right stories, then it'll get you to your goals.
Your goals. Awesome, guys. Hey, guys. Well, thanks for joining us. That's gonna wrap up our test podcast session here with Alex Mora. He's actually going to be one of the hosts too for the podcast. So
we're going to try it out different ways.
Yeah, it'll be either myself or Alex hosting a guest. So if you want to be a guest on this podcast, guys, please reach out to us. We definitely want to open it up to the community out there. We actually already have a list of guests coming to speak with us. We have, you know, obviously other partners of ours coming on. You know, Max Becerra, Ishmael Romero. We have some of our top producers here in the office coming in. We also have the city of Bakersfield, economic development coming in. We have the Tulare County economic development city managers throughout the Central Valley are also planning to come here with, you know, a similar agenda, similar journey as all of us. Mm-hmm. So I look forward to all that, guys. So keep tuned to us. Just stay on this channel, Carlos, right? How do I end this, right? All right, guys. So that's the end. So, guys, that's the wrap for today's session, for today's podcast. Hopefully, you enjoyed us and following us today. We continue to strive and get better, guys. And again, guys, you know, I gotta tell a lot of my team, guys, don't let the weekend be the weekend. Keep polishing the wheel, right? You always got to keep getting better. Like Alex said today, right? Keep reinventing yourself. As you're entering other areas of life, right? You can't keep coming in as the old Alex into a new journey, right? It's a recipe for failure. Be coachable, and we'll see you on the other side, guys. Talk to you soon.